Yay,
Myth-Informed. What's up,
Myth-Informed.
Myth-Informed? Who else thought the woman descriptor in the mass shooter headline was suspect as soon as you read it? The corporate media is on an apology tour for using that word now, lol. Can't wait for Austin.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you mean the event at the Vulcan?
I'm
The Mines
hosting
event?
April 15th, and there's
That'll
a
be
ton of
fun. Yes.
speakers and comedians and musicians coming. You get your tickets at minds.com. Yeah, Minds Fest, April 15th. Y- I thought it was only the woman as the descriptor. It caught my attention because there are not very many mass shooters who are women. It's women kill, but they don't often kill in that way.
No, and I thought the future was
Right.
female. What's happening? Yeah.
And so that immediately caught my attention. And then when I found out she was trans, I was trying to figure out which way, right? So it turns out she is a biological woman who was using he, him pronouns. And what's interesting is, I mean, also catches my eye is 3 of the past 4 transgender mass shooters were biological women who were trying to live as men. And because it's so rare for women, biological women, to be mass shooters, it does make me wonder, is there something s- going on here in term with hormone replacement therapy? Or not that everyone who takes testosterone is going to shoot up a school, of course not. I'm just saying, why, what is there a correlation here? Why are there so many out of a very, very small fraction of a percent of the population? The transgender population is not that large. Why are there so many who are biological women who are transitioning to be men? It's unusual. So you can't ask questions like this now, though.
Well,
They're
because
like,
female puberty is
yeah,
awkward.
yeah,
No, you can't ask that question.
but it is
Because,
very
like,
rare.
yeah, w what we see are, like, gorgeous, filtered, perfect looking women all over the internet, all over TV. We don't see, like, the in between, and, like, most girls that are going through puberty, like, we all had an awkward stage. Like, that's what middle school literally is for you to have your bad hair, your braces, your back braced, your scoliosis. I was just talking earlier, some kid shit his pants in middle school. He's wearing shorts, okay? Then we all went to high school the next year, and everyone forgot about it except for me. But that's what middle school is for. And now no one can have an awkward stage. As soon as you're old enough, as soon as you're what, 12, younger, 10, you get a phone in your hand, and then it's a constant barrage of what you're supposed to look like. And a kid growing up, growing through puberty, like usually women, because that puberty happens first, and I think like male puberty is kind of just like you just shoot up real tall, and then eventually your voice changes. It's not like you're not like, okay, I have boobs coming out. Like, you don't have to like buy different underwear all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's female puberty probably is more awkward, but and I think it's more kind of like, oh wow, I have to go buy a bra. I have to there's You don't see examples of like awkward bodies. And honestly, I think that's what like the trans contagion kind of offers people, like, hey, like, embrace awkwardness, be trans. You don't have to be male or female. You can just be something strange in the middle.
And be
And
celebrated for it. That's the other thing.
yeah,
It's this whole
yeah,
celebration. You're held up as this special, protected, sacred class. It's very attractive for a teenager who's feeling awkward, you know?
yeah.
You feel like an ugly duckling, and now you get to be a sparkly unicorn and have adults, put you up on this pedestal. Um, I
'Cause it's
I
probably looks like womanhood probably looks like a lot of work to girls, because 'cause you're like, "Damn, it takes you years to figure out what to do with your hair." Okay, like, everyone's different. Like, you're like, "Is it curly? Is it wavy?" Then you're like, for
yeah,
years, you brush out your curls. You're like, "What the fuck is happening?" You gotta
same.
figure out products, length, haircut. It takes you years to figure out what kind of makeup looks good on you. Um, and then it's very confusing because people go, "Oh, I have to look perfect. I have to have either huge tits or huge ass. I have to have no wrinkles, no trace of aging, even if you're 20." So, it's like the marketing we get, like the messages we get, "Oh, like embrace yourself," but that's not what anybody's doing. Nobody's embracing their natural form. Everyone's filtering. Everyone's like getting injections. Everybody's, or you're like, "Oh, I gotta completely shave my head, lop off my tits, and kind of be this glamorous in between thing."
Did you
So
ever get in the 90s Before we had filters and all in the 90s, there were these, things at the mall called glamour shots. Did you ever get a glamour shot? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about disposable cameras?
No, you
I'm
would go in
still
a
having
booth.
an audio issue, but I'm
Okay. Glamour shots where you go in the booth. A lot of
glamour
teenagers.
shots, yes, of
Yes!
course,
Okay, I
glamour
just
shots,
sent you
yes!
one. Oh.
Like, the blended, the fogginess, the fog, yeah, of course,
Here.
glamour shots. Deb from Napoleon Dynamite, yeah.
Okay, here's mine. Let's see if you
Oh,
can
are you
see
sending
that.
me links? Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
Facebook
Oh,
link.
I
It
it
doesn't
says
open?
content is not available.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
Let me click on the other
Mm.
one.
Oh, the other one. Oh, you know why? Because it's friends only. Let me change it to public. No, the other one's about the girl. It's actually a sad kind of just a
Okay,
different
let me
photos of
show
her.
this. The signs were there. Who saw them? Who ignored? Who tried but gave up? Oh, I mean, like, that looks
She looks
fine.
so happy. That's her on the right. She looks so, like a normal kid. That's her on the right.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, then, like, what's that?
And
Okay,
then
that's bad.
angry.
Depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, she was a super happy kid, it seems. Someone saying, I'm betting cluster B mom in the portrait with her and the kids, especially the obviously infantilized girl, lean in to perform affection whilst she neither embraces it nor even touches them. Ooh. Oh, is this the mom right here? Weird. It's hard to tell from a few photos, but
Yeah, I don't think you can assume all of that. That is the case with many male mass shooters, that they have these overbearing cluster B kind of personality disorder moms. The guy that shot up the Lubies in Texas in the 80s or 90s, the 90s, he had this really tumultuous relationship with his mother who was just very controlling and narcissistic. Same thing for Richard Speck. He was the guy in the 60s who did a mass stabbing of all these women. Um, had a very crazy mom. Uh, that's the case, I think, for a lot of men who end up going that route. I don't know about women, but sorry for the dark topic.
yeah, I don't know. It seems like the opposite of steadily working hard on something and like uh I don't know, it just seems like such a pussy move to shoot up a school. It's like you're making it about you, clearly. You want the glamour, you want the attention. Obviously, killing people is horrible and the worst thing you can do. Like that goes without saying. But I just think it's just such a lame move. It's like I don't know. It's literally not going to solve your problems. You're going to be kind of famous for a day, but then hated forever. It's ultimately not worth it. And it's like I don't know, it's just so incredibly selfish. It's like, but it's hard to work on yourself and achieve your
Yeah.
goals. And yeah.
Plus, I think they come to despise, Peterson has talked about this, but they come to despise the state of being itself. These people who do mass murder and then take themselves out. Like this girl, she knew she was going to die. She apparently messaged a friend right before she did it saying, I'm going to die today. But it's not enough for her to kill herself. She wants to take others with her because she hates God, hates existence, hates the nature of being itself. That's like the ultimate resentment against life, is like, life means so little to me that I'm going to take some people's lives with me just to show you how much I despise life. That's so evil. It's, I don't, it's just such a dark place to get to. The Columbine killers, who people reference a lot, that's what their diaries were like. I mean, they were different. The one guy was, Eric, was much more of a sociopath. I mean, that was him. He despised living. He despised people. He thought himself so much better than everyone else. He wanted to kill as many people as possible. He thought he was sort of this elevated being. But Dylan, the guy who agreed to go along with him, Dylan was suicidal and depressed. And for him, it was sort of, well, may as well do what Eric wants and take out a bunch of people with me on my way out. But uh, ultimately, although I think they were really motivated by different things, one a desire to murder and the other one a desire to kill himself, they both had this resentment for the state of living, of being. Columbine staged. I don't think Columbine was staged. No. Um, sorry,
That's for
amazing.
another stream.
But it definitely, I'll say this, Columbine was
It's interesting to
definitely
think about.
used.
I think all the conspiracy theories are interesting. Yeah.
The way they used it. They used it, and one of the things that Columbine did is the media immediately pushed all these false narratives, and most of those false narratives we still think are true to this day because they pushed it so hardcore. People think they were in a group called the Trenchcoat Mafia. They weren't. There was a group called the Trenchcoat Mafia there at the school. They were like a bunch of gamers and geeks and stuff. These guys were not in it. They think that they were bullied, and these were kids who were poor bullied kids were getting retribution. They said they were taking aim at jocks and stuff. That none of that was true. They weren't bullied. They were well liked. They had friends. Um, they weren't targeting jocks. But what happened with the media repeating that stuff, people believing it, is then you got all these copycat killers. All these other kids who were like, "Oh, Columbine are my heroes. I'm bullied, so I'm gonna do that," and they created this myth, and now they have other school shooters who kind of trying to emulate that, but it wasn't even a true story. That's not even what happened. It's a freaking sociopath and his
Yeah.
depressed friend. It's not 2 bullied kids.
I Right, I guess it comes from, like, you're snapping because you just feel like you have no power in your life, you have no autonomy, you don't have the ability to, like, affect change maybe, or improve your own life. Uh,
The
I
ones
hardly
who
think it has anything to do with gender, I think just,
Yeah, the ones
like,
who've come
mental
after
illness is
that.
just going to manifest in a number of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so sad that, like, uh, parents just don't want porn in their kids' school library. If some people will equate that to, oh, they want to do a trans genocide. It's like, no, we just don't want drag queen story hour, okay, in front of our kids. We just don't want like pornographic books in the middle school. That's not a genocide. Calm the fuck down. Like, stop being so dramatic.
Yeah. We used to know. I
like
mean, it
you,
used to be
it's
pretty
like
obvious that.
California. California is still California's still a trans utopia. They're gonna turn Minnesota into one too. It's like there are still you can still get an abortion. You'll always be able to find a place to transition. Um,
They get
Probably
people
as young as
wound
you
up,
want,
though.
unfortunately.
Like, they get people wound up, like, even this shooter, this girl who did this, in Tennessee. We don't know yet because they haven't released her manifesto. I hope they do. I wanna read it. Um, but I suspect, based on the comments, the nasty, nasty comments I've seen from some people on the left online since then, is they get people wound up and hysterical where they really believe this stuff. They believe there's a genocide against trans people, or they believe that this country's like trying to kill gay people. I've seen crazy stuff like that. And if you believe that, especially if you're a kid, a young person, you know, that could definitely contribute to you doing something insane like this. And so the media is, I think, partially to blame for filling people's head with this ridiculous fear and this fear mongering and this attempt at division. And they'll never take responsibility for it. They're already saying, oh, this lies at the feet of J.K. Rowling and Candace Owens and people like that, because they spew anti-trans hatred, and that's why this has happened. That's bullshit.
Yeah, there's just so many. I feel like there's just so many factors, or so many groups of people with money behind them just waiting. Like, I just picture a bunch of like foxes like licking their lips, like ready to take advantage of younger kids that are vulnerable. Basically, it's like you got big pharma wants a pharma patient for life. They want to sell a year's worth of hormones. They want to make that money from that top surgery. They want to, like, even as experimental as it is and as much as it fails, they're like, "Yeah, let's do this." They don't care about
They don't care. They're making lots of
helping
money.
people. People just wanna make money, and
Yeah.
politicians just wanna make money, and division is the way to do that. So I don't know. I've been liking a lot of James Lindsay's posts and tweets over the last couple of days because he was like, I remember he told me months ago, he's like, they're gonna have like a George Floyd situation, but for trans people. He's like,
Oh,
mark
yeah.
my words, they're gonna do it. There's gonna be a trans Floyd. And just so they
Yeah.
can rile up the same amount of division and money around this cause because maybe they feel like racism isn't really working for them anymore.
Oh, they absolutely want something like that. They'll divide us along any lines that they can to keep us from noticing who's pulling the strings of everything. It's like, oh wait, so the wealthiest, like the most elite, all the like the government, the politicians, the celebrities, all these people who live very differently than the majority of the people on planet Earth want us fighting with each other constantly. It's like um and one of the ways they do that now is they've got, for a while it confused me that all the banks and the corporations and stuff were like lining up with woke ideology, but I kind of get it now because woke ideology is so divisive. What better way to kill Occupy Wall Street, right? Than to get people fighting over identity politics. Um, nobody's going to be out in the streets talking about the wealthy 1% or anything if we're all fighting over like I'm the most oppressed because I'm these identities. And what about my oppression? Like, and which is kind of what happened.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Love you, get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.